Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing in the Harbinger League as a solo self-found witch. Not yet a Necromancer, but we will be a Necromancer soon, because today it is time for the normal Labyrinth. I have assembled all the puzzles. We are ready to go. If you haven't been following the beta, then this is new. There's now an actual waypoint here that you can access via the lovely waypoint over here. And you now choose the labyrinth that you want to run at this pillar over here. So for the normal lab you need 6 trials to be completed. And for the quote-unquote cruel lab there are 3 unknown areas, Merciless, Ditto, and the Eternal lab requires the 6 trials we know from there, as well as a key. But for now, we go for the normal lab. So let's go. Normal lab has been shortened. Some of the more difficult traps have been prevented from spawning in the normal lab, and some of those that still do have actually been toned down or weakened a little bit. So normal lab should be easier than ever. And as a result, you should basically be able to do it the moment you finish all the things in Act 3. Which... oh, we just reached Act 4 and I just went one episode into Act 4 just to unlock Dried Lake for a little bit of farming and running around. But technically it's not needed. Heck, even before you go after Piety, you could run into the hedge maze, complete the final trial, go back and do the labyrinth at level 33. And that should be viable. But it's easy to just finish Act 3 first, get the extra skill point from the mines, and then go back just slightly empowered, and also with the option of just farming a little bit. And I know you can technically farm any area in the game, but Dried Lake, it's still a special place, right? It's we've been running around there for so long. It has a little bit of sentimental value, just farming Dried Lake, gearing up for the final fights of Act 4. Used to be the final content of the difficulty level, preparing for the next one. Of course, now after Act 4, we're gonna continue onwards to Act 5. Ta-da, there's already a trial here. It's that much shorter. Let's see. A guardian dude. You know what? We could do is actually try and see if we can just do this in the slightly overpowered style. Just keep the guardians there. Okay, one of them went down, one of them is dead. Okay. So I'm not gonna get a key from this because the minions kind of wrecked that opportunity. But we did take him out before the 3rd guardian was even there. Dark Pact, it's pretty potent. And also for the self-cast option, especially against slightly under-leveled foes, you're just murdering them. There's no opportunity for them to do anything in return. Okay. All of them are doing something except for that. Puzzles, I'm never a fan of them. Hey, random click buttons. We got a treasure key. So I guess it was supposedly actually pretty relevant to start paying attention to these lock boxes, because they're more rewarding, and well, a treasure key is indeed a decent reward. You can get some decent items, or stacks of currency, or other useful things. Or you can get just absolutely useless stuff. That is also a very valid option. Running through. Self-casting Dark Pact. It works rather well, especially now that we do have our Stone Golem. Grants us 39 life regen per second. It's a side passage. We're gonna skip that one. And the more life regen we have, the less punishing it is to just use a self-casted Dark Pact. And now that we have some levels on it, you can see it here. 15% more damage with hits and ailments if using your life. So that's the self-cast bonus. It is currently at level... where does it say? Level 4. So that would be 5% per level. Plus 3 levels from level 1. Okay, so I think in the original theory craft it was 8% more. So they toned that down a little bit already. Blah. Okay. Luckily, I never claimed I was good at doing labyrinth traps, because I'm not. Very much not good at labyrinth traps. But luckily, you don't have to be, not really. Just have to have enough luck or enough life to survive a little bit. So what did we score from the last one? 2 out of 3. So if we had waited for the final guy to make an appearance, then we would have actually gotten a key from that. Oh, and maybe useful to just empty my pockets here. Because there might be more loot. Let's see, what's that? Oh, the portal. Oh, we can try to deal with that as well. Just get some minions up and then murder. Okay, he's already dead. So slightly overleveled as well as pretty potent. That combination just spells doom for this guy. But it is nice, I believe I managed to not touch any of the portals. So they should stalk us to the final level and they should translate into a key. Ooh. Yellow spider on the rails. That's not healthy for the spider. Oh, then again, I don't think I ever cared about the health of my enemies. Just put down a couple skellies and then whoosh. Let's see, let's reorient ourselves. Last time we grabbed Herd the Flock, so now we're gonna go for Puppet Master. Yeah, and we are indeed maxed out at 6 zombos. And with a little bit of passive life regeneration, we are managing to keep them alive much easier than ever before. Skeleton went up a level, so that means more life for them. And I probably should have checked the location first, because this is a side area. Okay, I don't have any silver keys on me, so I can't really do much with it. So let's see if we can bypass the area designated for the boxes by just going to the top right of the map. Hello, artisan chest. Increased quantity, pack of magic mobs, some increased chest level, stream of mobs, detonate corpses. Okay. So let's just take the incentive here and detonate the corpses myself. I mean, it's the cast when damage taken setup that will eventually result in me automatically detonating corpses, but have to wait a little bit longer for that. Okay, just teleporting through. It works. And with a bit of luck, this is the exit. But it's a crossroads. Hang it. Then there is one more area that we haven't yet to go through in order to get to the final encounter with the Zaro. Okay, I see a poem. It usually means we're on the right track. Okay, there's enough skellies. Let's blast away. Rather literally. Oh, yes, they're slightly confused by all the skeletons, and then whoosh. Ooh, and there's a door. And where there's a door, there must be an exit. Alright, bleeding. No, not of course removal yet. Yeah, that's one of those little things that has yet to be resolved. Better gear. Is this the one I want? Yeah, it is indeed the one I want. So I'm assuming I'll just have to go left staircase here. Ta-da! So that's barely 10 minutes and we're already in the third trial room. And we got all the portals. So it's going to be slightly more challenging than normal, but I have full faith that this can indeed be done.
The Empire awaits you with open jaws.
Open jaws even. Beware of sharks. Okay. And then burn you. Just making sure there's some skeletons, some wither. I should not be too close. On normal there are no traps here, so you have a lot more space to just maneuver. And there we are. Oh yeah, we have to still murder the others. Which of course we can do at a distance. Okay, there we are. Loot. And a unique Viridian jewel. Hello there, lovely. What are you? Fight for survival. Increase cold damage. Melee damage dealt by Frostblade penetrates cold res. And Frostblade has 25% increased projectile speed. So if we were to use the projectile speed, not projectile speed, the Frostblade, then it would have been useful. In this case though, not quite. Did gain ourselves an extra key because we had the 3 portals up.
Before your Emperor,
Ooh. Brandis blazing.
Receive our blessings, embrace our gifts, and rise ascendant.
Let's see.
For this is the ending that we all deserve.
Guy keeps going and going and going. He's worse than Navali in that regard. And there's no shush button. That's... yeah. So, Brandis Blazon, bonus to attributes, increased quantity of items found. That is a property you don't really see all that often. Fire res, increased flask effect duration, and reduced physical damage taken from attacks. In terms of resistance numbers, this is actually a slight upgrade. So you know what, for now, why not? I believe I am overcapped. I was not overcapped on lightning. Too bad. Then nope, we're gonna stay capped on lightning. Might need to shuffle some things around in between episodes or something. Okay, we'll deal with that a little bit later. So, the Divine Font. Enchant my gloves. They have a decent little bit of resistance on them, but they're not actually all that great. Trigger Word of the Grave when when your skills or minions kill. Hey, that sounds appropriate. Summon 3 Icy Skull minions that explode at the end of their duration. Last for 5 seconds. Okay. Now that is pretty neat. It's actually a glove enchantment that seems to work for us. But of course, the thing we've been going for, picking our ascendancy. So we're gonna go Necromancer for this playthrough. I did do a little bit of theory crafting, and for the occultists, if you're gonna go self-cast, then something like a Void Beacon could be kind of nice, since you actually have a source of chaos resistance reduction. As far as I know, this is one of the few sources of chaos resistance reduction in the game, because elemental resists are easy to deal with. Armor is something that you don't really find all that much on enemies. So, but chaos is something that, as a rule, there is no curse of elemental or of chaos resistance reduction, for example. There's no chaos penetration support gem, but Void Beacon does give you the effect. So for that, it is pretty potent, especially against boss fights. Then over here, Profane Bloom, cursed enemies you kill will have a 20% chance to explode, dealing a quarter of the max life as chaos damage. It's also one of those things, if you're focusing occultist, focusing chaos damage, then you can do some interesting damage with this. Though, you want to go for self-cast Dark Pact version of the build then, and you probably want to go for a Blasphemy, Temporal Change or something like that, or maybe even go double or triple curse, especially with Malediction over here, making it very easy to go double curse at the least, and triple curse, especially as a witch, is pretty easy even without items, and with items you can stack it even further. But we're not gonna go occultist. We go words difficult. We're not gonna go occultist. We're gonna go necromancer, because we are a summoner. So we necromance. And we ascend. And then we become the Mistress of Sacrifice. We gain some increased skill effect, duration, and minions do increase damage. And next up, more increased effect duration. So this is 35% increased skill effect duration. That is pretty much on par with what you can get from the Scion Wheel. It's 45 in total here. And there's 45 in total here, but 35 for 2 ascendancy points is pretty neat. Offering skills also affect you, and that is also why I chose to go with Bone Offering. And we're gonna put it on cast and damage taken. So Bone Offering consumes nearby corpses, puts up a totem that lasts for, by default, 3 seconds plus half a second per corpse consumed. Because of the extra duration here, we already get nearly a second of bonus. And for every corpse we consume, that bonus is further extended. And it grants us a chance to block with both attacks and spells, and by default it's only for minions, but because of the Mistress of Sacrifice, it also works for us. So suddenly we get a boatload of blocking. And one of the interesting things is that, funny enough, it doesn't show on the tooltip here, but it does show on the actual description here. Minions recover 81 life when they block, and as we level up Bone Offering, that bonus is gonna go up. The block chances are also gonna go up, and it gets better for us. But this is gonna be a very short episode. Okay, it's 18 minutes now, so dealing a little bit with items and upgrades, of course, makes it longer, but I might even just do the Labyrinth at the end of an episode if we have like 20 minutes or so to an episode, because a lab run is now so short. I love it that it's so short, because I was never a big fan to begin with. But with that said, I'm gonna pick up the items and just make sure they disappear, and I'll see you again next episode when we are gonna go Kingslaying. Calm and Deresso, they must die. Bye bye.